Mia, get down, now, go.
Okay, so the date today, June 22nd, 2019.
Yes, 1 year from the year of my accident.
Mia.
Say hi, Mia. Say hello, everybody.
Okay, I'll stop moving the camera.
All right.
All right, so do you want to give everybody an update on how your last year has been?
Well, so I did a few updates, and after leaving, I'll just say after leaving the DR, that I was transported back to Parkland Hospital, and I was in Parkland Hospital for about 6 weeks, and then Jeff and I moved in with my sister and my mother in my sister's house, and our 2 dogs, Mia and Mocha. We were fortunate enough to bring them home, thank God. And we stayed with my sister all through Christmas and for about 6 months actually. And Jeff and I had discussed that we would try about 6 months and then see if we would be ready for our own place by then. And as it stands, 6 months was pretty much the exact timeline.
Right on the dot. Yeah, it was the 3rd week of March.
Yes. Yeah. So Jeff and I decided that we wanted to attempt living life on our own and with our new found future ahead of us, I guess is the best word. And so we ended up buying a house in Rockwell, Texas, and that's where we're at now. And we love it. It's a nice size open concept house. Nothing too big, just 1 story, but big enough for us and for family and friends when they come and visit. So we're glad about that because we always welcome visitors. However, we have been in and out of the hospital a little bit throughout the time after leaving. I've been blessed with urinary tract infections, which are not always a blessing, but
also not uncommon
for my spinal cord injury. And the best thing for my spinal cord injury is that I can't feel it. So, so for those of you that have struggled and know how uncomfortable they can be, at least I'm not having to go through too much being uncomfortable.
What was the final decision on? Is it C5?
They're basically still calling it C4, C5 complete.
Oh, okay.
So without looking that up, I couldn't even really tell you other than my C5 vertebrae was severed completely, and that left me a quadriplegic, and I do have some functionality, minimal, in my hands. I don't know if you can see my right one moving a little.
A little bit.
Okay. And that's
you can
actually,
move it, slide it up and down.
yeah, I can slide it up, and I can actually move it up and down a little bit more when I'm not laying down. But because of being in a lying position so much or a sitting position so much without being able to move myself around, I've actually acquired some pressure wounds. Yes, pressure wounds. And they have caused some other issues, and they cause me to spasm kind of erratically from time to time, or they cause me to lay in bed for much longer periods than I care to. I'd much rather be in the chair and going to Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart or wherever, because Jeff does get me out as much as he can, other than doctor's appointments, thank goodness. And well, Mia decides to leave us.
You can't see her on camera.
Oh, okay. I'll continue to update you. So I did get, I got sent back to the hospital in January, early January, for about a week, a good week, and it was after the new year. And that was where we did a little more testing as far as the pressure wounds, and I had a lot more specialists get involved in my healing, and it's also when my insurance finally kicked in. So that was the biggest thing for the first of the year, is that I'm now on the wellness program, and luckily I've already met my deductible, and I'm able to, get it in and out of doctors, specialists, and prescriptions and everything. It's all covered, which is really nice, because I'll tell you what, this has not been an inexpensive accident by no means. So, and just getting out of DR alone was expensive enough, but the medical bills on top of it, once coming back to the States, obviously, have their high prices coming back to the States, just coming back to the States. But all in all, I'm doing really well. Jeff is doing really well. We've adapted as much as we possibly can to living back in the States. It's nice to be around my family. All of my family is right here in Texas, right here in just within 20 minutes at the most, probably 20 to 25 minutes. So I get to see my sisters and my mother and my nieces quite regularly, so that's really been nice. And I can't thank my friends enough. Shelly, who is videoing this right now for me, she has been a lifesaver since the moment I got back into the States. And my friends Gina and Dana, who are down in San Antonio and Austin, they try and come and help out as often as their jobs allow them to as well.
And your nails look pretty thanks to them.
Yes, and my nails get did, my hair gets did. So I'm very, very grateful to everybody who gets a chance to come and visit, and always has some way of loving on me that I wouldn't have had, just without knowing as many people and having these wonderfully deep relationships that I have with these great women in my life.
So we're videoing this laying down because
Yes.
you're not allowed to be in the chair right now.
That's so true.
So the other videos, you've always been in the chair, but
Yeah, or sitting up higher in the bed.
yeah. So how long do you think you'll have to kind of stay in this?
Well, it depends on a pressure wound that's on my back end, just to say. We are waiting on some results, some test results to come through, some blood results, and possibly an MRI. And based on what these results show, then I'll know about how much longer they'll want me just to keep as much pressure off of it as possible. Because right now they're just saying no pressure whatsoever. Jeff has the joy of turning me every couple of hours, and right now I'm laying flat, and I'll need to be turned before too long, I'm sure.
You've got this great wedge now that helps lift you in different directions and stuff.
Yes, I utilize everything I possibly can. Shelly brought me this great wedge that can be slid under from any side, any angle, and I've had some pressure wounds like on my little pinky toes and under my elbows, and she's gotten me some sheepskin and just different things to help us get those healed and get those taken care of, so that they're not just open wounds that could become infected and could cause a much more serious issue down the line.
But now you've got, for the last couple of weeks, you started having a daily
nurse. Yes, I because my insurance is kicked in and my deductible's been met, Jeff was able to call in and get us a daily nurse. So for the last 2 weeks, I've had this wonderful lady, Nurse Nancy, that's come into the house. She comes in every day and she treats everything. She does my trach care. She does all of my pressure wounds, and she even does catheter changing when needed. Excuse me. And she'll do it for as long as the doctor's orders call for it. So we're very happy about that, because Shelly was my trach nurse before. She took care of the top half, and Jeff took care of the bottom half, and she would always take care of making sure my trach was cleaned, and that was always an ordeal. But we got through it, and she managed to become an expert and would get all the praise from all the doctors and nurses. It's true. It's true. I'm gonna brag about you too, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be where I am today if you weren't as close as you were, and if you weren't able to do as much as you have. And trust me, Jeff and I do not let it go without saying on a regular basis.